Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now, videos like this on my channel are quite a rarity, that I'm actually sitting here discussing a Liverpool loss in the Premier League. Liverpool unbeaten in 26 Premier League games. This is Liverpool's first defeat since September, when they were beaten 1-0 at Anfield by Nuno's high-flying Nottingham Forest, currently sitting third in the table. So this is something that nobody has really seen of concrete regularity this year, that Liverpool lose a Premier League game. Liverpool don't lose games in general, but we've had a few of those in the last month or so. Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle, etc., Plymouth. It has been coming for the last 2 months or so. But a Premier League loss doesn't happen very often. And here I will try to explain to you what went wrong as Liverpool stutter at Craven Cottage. Guys, if you're new here, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and leave a comment, because I always read them and I always reply to them. And it means a lot, because you guys show me a lot of support. But let's get into it, because I think it's important to speak about complacency. Maybe not, but I think it's important to speak about what kind of went wrong for Liverpool. Now, Liverpool don't lose many games, and going into this game, I expected nothing more than a Liverpool victory, especially since Liverpool haven't lost it at this ground since 2011, I believe it was, when Clint Dempsey scored as Fulham beat Liverpool. So it was quite a while ago. It was 14 years or something. It's quite some time. But to understand that fact as well, Liverpool haven't got the greatest record here. They drawn quite a few games here. They've dropped quite a few points in the last couple of years. It's only really last season that they had their first league win at Craven Cottage since 2018-19. So 17-18 Fulham won in the league, 16-17 they won in the league, 18-19, 19-20 they won in the league, 20-21 it was a 1-1 draw, 21-22 they won in the league, 22-23 was a draw, 23-24, which was last year, was a win. Liverpool won twice there last year, once in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, once in the League 3, around a similar time of the season. But Fulham, you have to give them credit. And to go 1-0 down, and I think when McAllister scored that absolute cracker, I only expected it to go up for Liverpool, and I expected a Liverpool victory, and I think a lot of people did as well. But it just didn't happen to be that. And I think Fulham were quite brilliant, because they scored like 3 goals in 14 minutes, and it's the first time I think it's ever or something like that, Liverpool have conceded 3 goals in the Premier League after going 1-0 up. So that is also a rarity. Another record that's unmatched to Liverpool has happened today as well. And it's the first away game that Liverpool have lost since Goodison Park last year, I think. Yeah, it should be Goodison Park last year. So it is quite a while since Liverpool have lost a game away from home in the Premier League, almost coming up to 1 year. Somebody can correct me if that's wrong, but from the top of my head, I believe it was the Merseyside derby last year. But look, I think you have to give Fulham credit, and I think they've had a very good season, and they've got a very good coach, and they have some good players in that squad as well that cause you problems. And look, you had Muniz score, you had Alex Iwobi score, two of the players who I think are quite decent for them, and obviously rotations with Muniz and Jimenez. You also coming in with the fact, like, you got Smith Rowe off the bench, you've got Andres Pereira. They've got a good squad for them, and obviously the returning Ryan Sessegnon, who played on the right wing, and he scored a quite decent goal. But I think it was just a catalogue of errors from Liverpool that resulted in this kind of not collapse, but collapse from going 1-0 up. Because when Liverpool go up, you kind of expect them to get the job done. It's what they normally do, and especially away from home. And I think what Fulham did to respond to the goal from Liverpool is really impressive. And I think more teams need to use that blueprint that you can get at this Liverpool team. They've played a lot of games, and I think a lot of teams have shown that they can attack Liverpool and get some joy from doing it. Newcastle did it quite well in the final. Paris Saint-Germain exploited it. Even Plymouth Argyle did it, although it was a rotated side that Liverpool put out that day. When you have the likes of Gravenberch and McAllister, it's not the most secure midfield in the world. In possession, it might be quite good, but off the ball, it might be a bit of a problem. And I think that's where the struggle lies for Liverpool at this moment in time. They need somebody that can just break up the play, and that's ultimately where they got the opening goal. McAllister and Gravenberch winning the ball back, ironically. And McAllister scored an absolute cracker, but there's not been enough of that from those two, especially in the last 2 months, I'd say, of the season, because teams have started to utilize the press better against Liverpool. They started to double up on them, and when you put 4 players on 2, you're going to get joy. It's just normal, it's human nature. It's natural to do so. But I think with Arne Slot today, I think he got quite a few things incorrect. And especially with his substitutions, I thought I didn't have an issue with the 11 because obviously Jota scored in midweek, and obviously Diaz is in good form, but I can understand why he'd want to give Gakpo some minutes. And he didn't do much, Gakpo. Salah didn't do much, but other than that, it was a rotate. It wasn't anything different. And the Curtis Jones at right back, I wouldn't have done that today. I would have probably started Jarrell Kwanzaa at right back, just because it's away from home. You're probably not going to have as much of the ball as you expect, and it was shown in the possession stats of the first half. It was 51-49, so there was not much in it between the two of them. And when you have that kind of situation, you want somebody that's a bit more stable at the fullback. And I'm not blaming Curtis Jones because he's playing out of position, but you could see at times that the whole back four struggled to understand each other. I thought Van Dijk and Konate were very, very bad. So as a pair, I've seen Konate play poorly, I've seen Van Dijk play poorly, but as a pair, it's probably one of the worst I've seen them play for a very, very long time, and that's just to show how good they are. But just on Konate as well, something doesn't look right to me with Ibu Konate. And I remember when everybody was talking about him early in the year, how he's one of the best defenders in the world, and how Van Dijk and him are the best centre-back partnership ever at Liverpool and the best centre-back partnership in the world. And I always said, you guys are overreacting here. Konate is good, but it's only been a handful of games. Let him just play well, because we know that he can play well, get injured, inconsistencies. And since he's come back from the injury, I'll be honest, he hasn't looked the same player. And again, today, he just looked really, really poor. And I think against Beto as well, he looked really, really bad. Against Paris Saint-Germain, I wasn't impressed with him. In the final, I wasn't impressed with him. And look, I'm not sitting here overreacting, because I told you I would always speak about if a player is playing poorly or not. I think you have to do that as a fan, because it's a team game, and although it's a team game, you have to highlight individuals in that team that are playing well and not playing so well. And Konate is one of the individuals at this moment in time that is struggling. And I think against a physical kind of striker, Muniz was not. I think Muniz is physical, but somebody that can win the ball in the air, I think Muniz can do that. I think Van Dijk and Konate struggled with that, and Van Dijk has not been at his best for quite some time as well. But I think we know Van Dijk can bounce back from that. With Konate, he's playing too much. He looks like he's carrying an injury, and he doesn't have, when he doesn't play, you don't really have anybody that can come in and do the same job, because the level between our substitutes and our starters, especially in the defensive positions, are, quite drastic. And I think that needs to be addressed in the summer. And I think it will be addressed in the summer. I hope so anyway. But that's why I always said with Konate, just let him play his football. Same with the Gravenberch. I think he's good, but I think he's looked a bit leggy over the last month and a half, maybe 2 months. And maybe that's down to overplaying. Maybe that's down to inconsistencies as a young player. It's probably the first year that he's playing so much football at, in a season. He's not done that for quite some time. Since probably days at Ajax, where he's had to, kind of wait for his moment at Bayern Munich, then at Liverpool last year, and now at Liverpool this year, he's become a starter. So, sorry guys, my nose is blocked, and I hate when Liverpool lose and I'm ill, because I'm already feeling like really bad, and then you know what I mean. But it's fine, and I just feel like 11 points should have been 14. It just means that you have to wait a bit longer to win that Premier League title, and I think I just want this as soon as possible. And again, although this game's quite meaningless, like I said, it doesn't really matter. Liverpool are inevitably going to win the Premier League title. It's not a matter of if they're going to win the Premier League, it's a matter about when they're going to win the Premier League, and I just want that to happen as soon as possible. So games like this, I expect Liverpool to win, and unfortunately, they weren't able to do so. Just on Arne Slot, I was going to say something about Arne Slot. I think he got quite a few things wrong, especially with the substitutions. I thought bringing on Darwin Núñez was the wrong move, and he proved it. Kind of didn't do anything in the game. I thought Mo Salah should probably have been taken off. I don't think he was great. Diaz, I'd give him credit. Diaz was really, really bright when he came on, and Diaz obviously scored the second goal for Liverpool, and gave us some sort of hope. But when you then take off Szoboszlai, you then take off Konate, you then move Gravenberch into central defence, you take off the number 10, move Elliott to the wing so you can accommodate another attacker. You then have nobody in that middle zone just outside the box to receive the ball. And there was many times that Liverpool were in possession of the ball and they just couldn't, there was nobody in midfield that they could play the ball into. Well, normally that's Szoboszlai, and then maybe that's an overloading runner from midfield like McAllister, but there was nobody in there because he had then put Chiesa, Nunes, Diaz, Salah, and then Elliott on the wing. So then you had like five attackers and nobody in that central zone. And Fulham understood that. They went man for man with the Liverpool attackers. Liverpool had no space to play whatsoever, so they had to keep switching the ball back, trying to play long passes. And I think that's what Keller was trying to do to Harvey Elliott and to Mo Salah. Salah was a lot more narrower when Liverpool were chasing. And Liverpool were unlucky because I think when Chiesa came on, Liverpool a lot brighter. And look, with Chiesa, I think he needs more games because he nearly scored again. He had a shot. He looks dangerous. He can interchange. He's comfortable on the left, the right, centrally. I don't know why he doesn't get the games that he deserves, and he should be one of Liverpool's first subs. Darwin Núñez came on and did nothing. There was a kind of ball that was played into him, and he just was hesitant. And if you ran onto that just a split second, he probably would have been in on goal. Now, him scoring or not was a different story, but it was just like, why is his foot rooted to the ground? Be more alert, be more vigilant to what's going on around you, because that's how you're going to get your goals. And he's not going to get your goals. You're not going to get your goals if you just stand there and wait for the ball. It's not. A striker needs to move, and we've always said about Núñez, his movement is really, really good, but that wasn't there today. Now, Chiesa, he needs games. He needs minutes because he looked very, very bright when he came on. Harvey Elliott as well. He needs minutes. He was bright when he came on, and he should have scored. Hit the crossbar. Unluckily didn't get a goal. But look, the point I'm making is Arne Slot needs to use his squad because he has players in that squad that can make a difference. Chiesa did in the final. Every time I've seen Chiesa kind of come on or impact the game from the bench, he's contributed with something. A shot, whether it's taking on a defender, beating his man. Salah didn't do that for the whole game. Neither did Gakpo, neither did Jota or Nunez. So I want to see more of Elliott, more of Chiesa in the next coming weeks. Because we've got nothing to play for now. The league is done. Just play him and see how they perform. I'd start Chiesa against West Ham. He did it already early in the year in the cup game, and he got an assist in that game too. Start Elliott because he looks dangerous, and he scored against Paris Saint-Germain, and he didn't get a start after that. That's where I need to question Arne Slot, because you utilize your squad. You have a good squad of players. I know you might not fancy them, but you didn't fancy Endo in preseason, but now he's become a vital part of your squad. So use the players to your disposal, and I'm telling you, it will work. Another positive was Conor Bradley. Conor Bradley was really, really, really good, really good. And I've had my issues with Conor Bradley saying 1v1, but when he was inverting a lot into the midfield and playing little tricks around the corner, little passes, and he looked very, very sharp. And I still think we need to bring somebody in to kind of play right back with him. But if he plays like this, I got no problems with him. And straight back from injury as well. But look, there's 31 games have been played, 7 games to go, 11 points needed. Sorry. I don't know how many points it is now, but 8 guaranteed the title before Fulham. So I think it's still maybe 8 points because Arsenal just gained 1, maybe 9 now because Liverpool and Arsenal play each other. But let's just get this league title wrapped up as soon as possible so that we can close the season off and just focus on the transfer window in the summer, because we're not in the Club World Cup, so we will have the summer off, a very rare summer off for Liverpool players. Let's just see what happens. We're going to win the league. Liverpool are going to win the league. I want to get it done as soon as possible. If you're new here, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.